Welcome to the first ever, on this channel at least, Nerdtooine Wrestling Commentary episode. I guess you can call it episode. Maybe this will be the first episode of the new Nerdtooine Wrestling Podcast. But we're going to talk about the Bloodline. The Bloodline segment on the February 16th edition of SmackDown was something. It was not good, that's for sure. Now, granted, there is long-term storytelling, and this could be a clever ruse that we all fall for as fans of this kind of content. So this could be just making a great storyline down the road. But I'm specifically commenting on my thoughts on the episode and what happened in it as of a few days after it happened, before Monday Night Raw. So, because he, called out Cody yet again. But so this entire Bloodline story, right, has been building up Roman Reigns and his dominance and this unbelievable run that he's on, defeating all challengers left, right, and center. And now he kind of feels like a side character. He continues to look just like The Rock's sidekick on the road to WrestleMania. On the road to WrestleMania kickoff event. I mean, from then till right now. And honestly, it may be some bias because this week on Monday Night Raw, there was one of the best promos I can remember on the WWE between Cody and Seth. And I think it's hilarious. And I get this is all part of his character, but Roman said about Seth that he's Mr. No Pop when, he consistently, for quite some time now, has had the loudest pops of just about anyone in the entire WWE, and especially on Monday night. And Roman, to some extent, The Rock as well, are talking shit to dead arenas. But I digress. It's kind of hard to comprehend what they were thinking about with this promo. It was like they thought it was the late 90s again, and The Rock even made a very topical reference to MJ and the Utah Jazz from the 1998 finals. Granted, they were in Utah, but, quarter of their target audience wasn't even born when that happened, not to mention understand the reference. But again, I digress. The promo came across as, just a generic heel. You say your catchphrase, you diss the city you're in, and make fun of the fans in attendance, which is fine, and it's safe, and it's instant heat. But this is the fucking Rock. This is the great one. This is one of the people who's supposed to be the biggest star on the planet, in the known universe. And he came across as just another bland, tired heel. Sidebar, again, how is it The Rock is just now being announced as part of the Bloodline? Shouldn't he already have elder status? Like, is it just me, or are they trying to almost rebrand The Rock as a new version of The Rock that is just Hollywood Rock but older? Like, am I the one missing something here? Like he was in the Bloodline since before Blue-Eyed Roman walked down, made his first appearance in the arena stands wearing tactical gear, right? I mean, didn't he say a few weeks ago, should I sit at the head of the table? Wasn't that the entire hook for the WrestleMania match? And obviously, I'm very much aware I'm not a quote-unquote wrestling journalist or anyone who has any experience working in the wrestling business. Hell, I stopped watching for many years, and only started watching again due to the quality of the Bloodline storyline, and hell, I've only been to one WWE event in my entire lifetime. I went to the 2002 Armageddon pay-per-view, and, I live in South Florida, and I didn't make it up to Tampa for the Royal Rumble this year. But you know what I am? I'm a fan. I'm a fan who has always had The Rock as one of my favorite wrestlers. babyface, heel, Hollywood, I don't care. I loved it. I mean, when you can get over with a move like the People's Elbow, I mean, one of my favorite moments in all of WWE history is when he did the People's Elbow and he slid with his with his nice dress shoes. It's one of the greatest moments of in my opinion, of The Rock's tenure in the WWE. But then The Rock asks, what is Cody's story? Like, why does he just think he can get a rematch for the Undisputed Universal Championship? That's not how the world works, he says. You don't just have another shot at the title you lost. He continues to ramble on about the 49ers and how they just moved on from the loss, but also said if they work hard and get back to the top, then that's how you do it. Well, Rocky, that's exactly what Cody did. He didn't just get a rematch. He, like his father before him, after being robbed of a championship that he likely, argumentatively deserved, he worked his ass off, cutting fantastic promo after fantastic promo, and went to war with the likes of Brock Lesnar, the Judgment Day, Shinsuke Nakamura, headlining Raw almost every week, PLEs for almost an entire year now, entered the Royal Rumble again, joined the likes of Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold to be the only ones who ever win it back-to-back. And one of only 9 to ever win more than one, joining the names of Edge or Adam Copeland, Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, and of course the aforementioned Hogan, HBK, Stone Cold, and now the American Nightmare. Rocky, did you win too? No, and you can argue that you didn't have to because you were always either the champion or already in the championship picture, which is fair. I'm not going to argue that. Again, Rock's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But all that being said, I'm not an idiot. I understand this is a business. It's an elaborate show. These people are sports entertainers, and they are playing roles and telling a story. I'm just a storyteller and a fan of the business, and it just feels like they're going for, they were trying to go for we do what we want final boss energy. And what they actually were giving us is this tired, old, boring, B-list villain. Like, The Rock is the one who sounds like the crybaby. Cody ruined my biggest match in WrestleMania history. And he's going to do everything in the power to stop Cody from winning. Now, there is a theory that The Rock points at Roman and really means that, and he's going to betray Roman and help Cody win, which is absolutely possible. And again, as I stated before I even went on this rant, that could be what they're doing, and that could be, later on looked back at like, you were wrong. Fair enough. And again, I'm just talking about right here and now. And that'd be awesome. I would love that. I mean, it would be awesome, and would be what I kind of pitched for when, you remove everything from Roman and have him, and I was hoping they would do it about now, and then have him have to beat Cody on his own. And then if they do decide to not let Cody finish the story and Roman wins, he had to do it on his own and makes him look strong again. Because I feel like he looks very weak and has for quite some time, and honestly is getting worse with The Rock's appearance. I mean, is Tribal Chief not strong enough to win on his own? Wait, granted, he hasn't won a match on his own in years. Why should this be any different? And again, it's the same tired and at this point played out Bloodline storyline, which has gone downhill ever since they robbed Sami of his win in front of his home crowd at the Elimination Chamber last year, which, granted, I understand again that it's a business and that you pass up on that to tell a larger story. I get that. Obviously, I mean, you can't always let the baby faces win. You can't always give the fans what they want, and I get that. I want that clear, but, who knows? If this gets any traction, people will clip certain parts and make it sound worse, but that's fine. I can definitely manage that. But again, it just seems like the same thing over and over again. And you can argue, in my opinion, this Bloodline storyline, up until as of late, is one of the best storylines they've ever done. Peak, an absolute masterclass. But it's It's like this could be the the start of this new chapter. And ever since Triple H gained full creative, it seemed to be everything's been booked pretty well, except for, in my opinion, like the Roman Reigns. And I get that this could be all a creative way to gain traction for the Jimmy and Jay feud so they can battle at WrestleMania, helping make Cody one of the biggest baby faces in arguably the history of not only WWE, but all wrestling. And, add hype and attention to the road to WrestleMania. I get all that. And from what I've heard, this seems like a swerve from the initial plan, which was supposed to be The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, but because of the actually listening to the fans and setting up this Cody to finish his story with the "We Want Cody" and the hashtag "We Want Cody" trends and chants, it's they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. In this scenario, in a lot of cases, and that's fair and that's an accurate assessment. That has to be mentioned. But as it sits right now, there is definite issues. Not a single member of the Bloodline is on the card for Elimination Chamber at all. Seth and Cody are not wrestling. They will only appear on the Grayson Waller effect, which obviously is usually set up to have these... the rivals show up and create a scene. That's kind of what he does, which again, predictable. And it was just announced that Roman will be attending per the Elimination Chamber, which I'm sure probably means The Rock is as well. But I want to also call back. There was a thing that him and Paul Heyman were talking. Then by him I mean Roman Reigns, about where is the Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, Tribal Chief. I don't have to go to that, do I? Oh no, that's why you have a wise man. Well, looks like he is going now. Maybe the wise man messed up. Who knows? Or maybe it's just specifically to beat up on both Seth and Cody at the Grayson Waller effect. But, I guess it's my fault, for expecting more from the great one of the greatest of all time. Instead... we get, you smell what the Bloodline is cooking. And I gotta tell you, as of today, it's feeling very Black Adam-y. And that's not a good look. But until next time, this is Nerdtooine for Nerdtooine Wrestling. 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding.